Hi everyone, welcome to the next part of the planner page. It is Wednesday, so happy Wednesday. I'm not sure quite how much we're going to get done today, but we'll just see how it all goes. Black Widow pencils as we have been using for the rest of the page. Now I'm going to start with this little shelf unit here. It's going to come in nice and close because it is teeny tiny. There we go, that's how close I can get. Right, we have a pot of pencils. Let's grab some colours and do the pot. Now we've done a lot of pinks and purples for certain items like the boxes up here and things like that, so I'm going to stick with that idea. Grab a different pink. I'm going to use the Lady Jane to start with. Here it is. This is from the Dragon set. And just get started on our pot and then move on. The reason for the sort of pinks and purples is what I thought was that maybe this person who's collecting these bits and bobs likes a pink and purple colour scheme, but there's so many things that they can't just completely stick to it, so some of the main items that they may choose be pink and purple. I don't know whether it works, but you know, it's my little story in my head, I guess. Here is the amethyst. This is from the spider set. I'm going to use this for these little lines across here, oops, across here and here. Now with the pencils, I'm just going to find a colour for the wood bits, the ends. I am thinking the fawn might be a good colour. Just trying to find it. Oh, it's up here, isn't it? There it is. It's a Monarch pencil. Fawn. Something caught my eye out of the window, and I'm just going to sharpen that. And I can see there's a bird on our roof. I can't see that through my window. That'd be awfully clever. It's reflected in my neighbour's window. It's just the direction of the sun. There's a lot of reflection. That's quite pale, but you might be able to see. Now on the ends of these two pencils, it looks to me like there are erasers, and I am thinking the mushroom is a really good colour that looks a bit like an eraser. I don't have a pencil with an eraser on the end in here. Oh, I do. Let's see. Oh, you can just about see it's sort of pinkish. It's been broken off. I think this might be a bit too grey, but I think it'll just about work. I don't know why pencil erasers are always a very bright colour. Pink, sort of orangish. I'm going to use the gold dust next. I'm going to just use a few different colours for the pencils, and we can use these through the rest of the shelf like we have in the other videos. So there's one. I am going to grab a red. I'll use the ladybug, I think. I'm just randomly grabbing colours that I think will work. I sort of primaries really. So next I'm going to go for a blue, and I'm going to use the Blue Moon. So it doesn't matter which blue, I just wanted a sort of bold blue, if that makes sense. I feel we need a green. Excuse me sniffing away. I'm going to use the toxic green. I'm going to have to sharpen it though. How did I choose this one? I just looked at which looked fairly dark and long. As good as way as any. And what's missing? Well, nothing's missing really. Let's go for sort of turquoise maybe. What colour is that? Sabre. What colour is the sabre? I've got it in the greens. It's a green, isn't it? Won't do that. I know. We'll go through to here and we'll grab one of the orangey reddy browns. Maybe the rusty. That might work. Rusty from the Monarch set. This doesn't look like it's ever been sharpened. There we go. It's a sort of reddish brownish colour. Right, now we've got these two jars and we don't know what's in them. They're just little shapes. Now I think the easiest way to do these is to cheat and do them the same colour. So I'm going to grab my yellowy colour, the gold dust, for the first one and just colour all these in gold. I don't know what they are. Like that. And this one we'll do differently. We'll go blue moon, but I'm going to do this a little bit lighter. I don't want it really bold like on the pencil, so I'm just going to try and do it lightly. I think that's going to work. It's quite grey blue, isn't it? Almost sort of indigo-y. There we go. Now the lids. Right, I want them looking maybe a bit like cork. Let's get a brown. The mahogany might work. Is that it there? Yeah. Mahogany. And I'm going to do one. I need to sharpen that. Goodness. So I'm going to do this little one quite bold and dark because it's easier to do a dark bit when it's small. This one a bit lighter, so they don't look like they're the same colour when they are. And we need a glass colour. I use the greythorn quite a bit. Let's use the cobblestone this time. Now I'm just going to make it darker on the edge and lighter in the middle to make it look like shiny glass. There we go. Now we've got more books. Do the books in the same way that we did the ones in the first video. So use one colour lightly and then go over some bits in a slightly darker tone. However, I'm going to do the pages first. So we've got the fawn. I'm going to do all the pages in the fawn. Just to get those done before I forget. That's the why I'm doing it first. Now, what colour should we do a bit? Well, let's start with the green book. This is our toxic green that we've had used already. So lightly to start with. Don't forget to go out the lines. No. Don't forget that sort of top edge. And then these bits just do a little bit darker. I'm just going to try and make it look a little bit neater. I think that'll work. Now the next book is quite a narrow book. I'm going to do it in the brown. We use the rusty for the pencil. Again, I'm going to try a bit lighter. Oh, I've just gone over the next book. I think that'll work. But we're doing the next one in red, in the ladybug, because I've gone over the edge. It'll work with the red, you won't notice it. So again, slightly lighter to start with, and then the top and bottom where there are those lines a little bit darker. Now last book I want to do in an orange really. Well, we've got the rusty, I guess that's quite orange. Purple, I'd quite like a dark purple. Let's try this, let's do the amethyst. See if we can make it look dark enough for my liking. So it's a little bit light. If I make that a bit darker, I can darken it up a little bit. There we go. Now our vase, I'm thinking a blue moon. Although, do I want to do those daisies in blue? Yeah, I want to do the daisies in blue. Yeah, my son's shouting downstairs. I went down to get a coffee just now. I haven't drunk it yet. It's a bit warm, but I thought I'd come and make this. I could have it after. And my husband and son were having their breakfast, gold dust, and watching Scooby-Doo, as you do. toxic green. My son doesn't like what Scooby-Doo husband does. He loves cartoons, he always has. So now what colour for the vase? Red. Let's do the red. Ladybug. I've got an idea. We'll mix a couple of colours up. So we'll do this quite lightly. We're going to do the same principle that we use for the teapot. So a bit dark on the edges, but then use our pink Lady Jane to just darken it without making it really intensely red. Like that. Okay, we are now going to move to this shelf. Okay, we might use the same colours that we've used already. I'm just going to wipe my nose, sorry. I'm not very keen on the green that I've chosen though to do it for leaves, so I'm going to choose another one. Not that one. We've used that one already. Apple or sapphire I'm going to use. Sapphire. And do the little leaves. Well, that's quite a fluorescent-y green. That's okay. Just wondering, no, I'm not going to do the, I was still wondering about whether to stick with the terracotta for plant pots, but I didn't for the last one, and as I say, I didn't really like it, so I might just do this one in pink. Here is our Lady Jane. So quick covering, and then I'm just going to make it a bit darker on the edges, like that. Now our pencil pot I'm going to do in purple and blue. So I'm going to start with the amethyst. I'm actually going to do the whole of it in amethyst, and then I'm going to go over those circles in the blue after. So a light layer all over, and then a bit dark on the edges, just like the plant pot. Like that, and then the blue, our blue moon, to do these circles. I'm trying to make them a little bit lighter towards the middle where we faded the purple. There we go. Now the pens. Grab our toxic green for one pen. This one. Now I would normally try and do them a bit dark on the edges. It's very tricky with such a small amount of space. I'm going to use this cobblestone for this pencil. It's pencil, isn't it? So we can use the mushroom for the end as if it's an eraser. Again. And this pen, I think I can do it in a yellow. Let's use the gold dust. Now we have a little terrarium here, and we have 3 different plants in it. So I'm going to start with the toxic green and do this one. Oh, it's teeny tiny. And this one. And then use the sapphire for the other 2. I'm going to have to sharpen it though. It's teeny. Oh, the sun's coming in, but it's okay at the moment. It's not coming up towards me. Now I'm going to sharpen my cobblestone and use it for the terrarium sort of framework as if it's silver. So what we'll do is for the sort of top bit here, we'll make it dark at the bottom and sort of less at the top, and here we'll fade it towards the middle like that, and with these long ones we'll fade them towards the centre. It's just an easy and cheap way of making it look like it's silvery, like that. We need to do the soil. I think I use the fawn. Not sure whether it'll be dark enough. I'll give it a try. Oh, it might be. Can hear the water running. I don't know if someone's in the shower or someone's washing up. Now, this will be glassy here. I'm going to use actually the cobblestone again, but lightly, like this. It looks a bit like there's some glass on it now, like that. Okay, where should we go now? Got this bit of shelving here. So we've got a little bowl of paintbrushes. So each handle I think should be a different colour. So let's start with our amethyst. Do this handle. Then a red. The ladybug. Then the blue moon. I don't know what colour paintbrushes are, so I missed a bit on that red. There we go. And then we need the cobblestone to make our glass effect on the jar. So this bit's easier. Make it light in the middle. And then this one we can just follow the curve of that glass and then just fade it in like that. And this jug, look, we've got these little florals. I'm going to grab the sapphire to colour in those leaves. Again, they're too small to do much with, so just block them in. And the vase. Oh, we haven't done the brushes. I decided how I was going to do them in the fawn. Just didn't do them. There we go. Vase in pink. Back to our Lady Jane. She's got up a little bit for you. There we go. Now we have a little house. How cute. I'm going to use the mushroom actually for the main part of the house. I always find it hard to know what colour to colour houses. I tend to go for these sorts of neutral tones, but as if it's a sort of light brick or something. And the chimney the same. Windows, I have got this gold dust I'm going to use, but I don't want to use it heavily because I don't want it to really stand out, so I'm just going to use it lightly. So it looks like there's lights on, but it's not so bright that it looks brighter than everything else. I'm going to actually do the roof and door frame in mahogany. I usually do roofs grey, but I just thought it'd be a bit different. I feel like the front door should be red. So back to our ladybug. There we go. Now, pile of books with plant. Let's do the plant first because it's sticking up high, and then I can push it up out of sight a little bit to do the other details. So I'm going to use the toxic green for this one. Now, because we've got quite large leaves, we can fade a bit off towards the tips if we want to. So I'm just going to put a few more layers of green down at the bottom of the leaves. I think I'm going to be racing the sun in a minute. I can just shut the blind if it comes across. I Didn't know it was going to be sunny today. I was going to go out. I don't like going out in the sun. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, now we've got what looks like a wicker basket. Let's push up out of that. It. I'm not sure that, I think I'll do a light layer of rusty on the basket. I'm not pressing very hard because I don't want it to look too orange, but I just want it to not just look brown. So I'm going to put a little bit more on the edges. A few lines. Okay. Got a little bottle here. I'm going to do it in a dark blue moon. Now if you're doing a coloured bottle, it's good to try and fade it towards the middle a little bit so that it looks like it's a bit of shine. I'm going to do that label in the top in the blue as well, but in the lightest tones. There we go. We've got 6 books. We may not have enough colours for these, but let's have a go. Let's start with the brown one with a mahogany. It might seem like a strange colour for books, but I'm sure we used to have a lot brown hardback books when I was little. Back in the day, as I say to my sons, I don't even know what that means, back in the day. I mean, I know it means in the past, but does it mean a specific time of the past? Does it mean back in the good old days? I don't know when those were. Okay. I'm thinking I want a few different colours actually now. What's that? Yeah, I'm going to use this evil red. Good name. I want sort of dark colours. I think books look more sophisticated in dark colours. I don't know if I'm just being a bit silly. I want a really dark green. What have we got? What is that? The forest is a good one. That's not it. Down here. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out quite where I am. Oh, it's here. Here it is. It's little Cobra forest. It's not as dark as I thought, but actually quite a good colour. Sort of what I would say a dull green. So I've got a bit on, and then I'm gonna make this bit darker and this end and the heart shaped if I can. A bit small. There we go. Now the book underneath, it's got leaves on, would have made more sense to make it green, but never mind. I think I'm going to go for a sort of orangey colour. I'm going to use the chestnut. I think that's it there. Yeah, it's another Cobra. It's actually a long Cobra pencil. Oh, sorry. Oh, husband's closing the curtains next door. The sun must be coming in. Let's just put the light on. Alright, so there we're just darkening these little aspects like that. And then last we need something a little bit more bright, maybe a dark purple, dark blue. Let's have a look. What have we got? We've got I think I used the eggplant. I've used it for a book already, actually, on the top row. But anyway, but you can see that I really should do those little planty bits and leafy bits in different colours. But I'm sort of making it easy and being a bit lazy and just doing them all in the same colour. And as it's the way I've done all of it, then I don't think it looks so odd. Now here I'm going to do a yellow book. I'm going to use this gold dust to do this one. I know I was sort of saying I wanted them all dark and sort of sophisticated, but I feel like we need some brightening up down here. I'm not going to worry about trying to do those bits a different colour or more intensely. I'm just going to grab the fawn to do the pages. Just noticed nobody has put the washing on. I have to tell them in a minute. This is the blue moon, or ask them. There we go. Right, we've got this rather complicated picture here. I think I'm going to do all the leaves in the same green and all the flowers in the same colour and leave it at that because it is quite complicated. So I am going to do leaves. What greens have we got here? Yeah, I might use the toxic green. Is that what I used there? I don't think so. For all the leaves, let's just do that. It is what I used there. Never mind. Cool, it's so teeny weeny. Teeny weeny. You could, and sometimes when there's really teeny things, I think, oh, it'd be better with a pen. But if I mix pencil and pen, it can look a little bit odd because I'm going to make all the flowers pink. It's Our Lady Jane. Because a pen has a different intensity and vibrancy than a pencil. It stands out as being pen, not pencil. And so unless you sort of put some pencil over the top or mix up the whole thing, I think it can look a little bit odd. Some people can do it really well. Maybe it's just a lack of practice. My son would say it's a skill issue. He's probably right. Right, background of this picture I want to do in purple, but I'm going to use the amethyst but use it lightly. So just really gently put down this purple. I can put it on top of everything. It will change the colour of the pink slightly, but I don't mind. Oh, page is moving around everywhere. Hopefully it's still in shot just about. There we go. And I'm going to do those dots just in a darker bit of this. There we go. Okay, bottles. Now we could do them, no we won't. I was going to say we could do them all in the same colour, but I don't think we will. Let's start with a eggplant bottle. Is that eggplant? I think it is. We'll do this one over here. Not really thinking, just getting on around there. I know what we'll do. We'll do all the glass bits in different colours, and then we'll do all the tops and labels the same. Toxic green next. No, we've just used that. Let's use the other green. Hang on. The sapphire. I'm going to do this one. I know I'm moving back and forth. I'm just trying to get one that isn't too near to that colour. Like that. I want a red. I know it's a bit odd. Why not? Let's do red. wonder what's in these. I think they're magical potions. What do you reckon? Let's make them a little bit dark on the edges. Blue next. It's our blue moon. All the stars and things. If you wish, you could get out your glitter pen. Not now, when you're at the end, and go over the stars and dots. Make them sort of glittery and shiny. But I'm not sure. Unless you're doing dots and shine elsewhere. What colour's sort of missing? Sort of a yellowy colour. We could use the rusty actually. Maybe it's a little bit orangey. It's not really that orangey, is it? Never mind. There we go. Now the labels I'm going to do in fawn. Now I don't think I did this here. Now, yes, all the labels in fawn, just light, so it just looks like a bit of sort of faded paper. This one's got a line around, I'll do a bit darker. This one is a bottle of tomato ketchup. And the corks tops. I want a brown. What have I got? I've only got the rusty. I have to find a different brown. A saddle, that will do nicely. It's very faint, isn't it? This isn't really a cork, it's a stopper. But I'm going to, because I said I was going to do them all the same, I am going to do them all the same. You absolutely don't have to. That's a bit odd. That probably should have been silver or something. Oops, now it's just a scribbly brown. It's gone outside of the lines. Okay, I wasn't sure whether I would have time to finish this, but I think I will, which is good news. We have our notice board here. Now I'm going to do it in a fawn colour, the whole board, the sort of background first. Now what I've decided to do with this notice board is to do everything in the, just going around our pins and concentrating, everything in the same colours. So I want there to be like a colour scheme to the pictures. So it might be tricky to do because they're all so different, but I think I can just about carry it off. So we're just doing the cork board, and I'm going to do them in pink and purple because that's our sort of colour scheme for the page really, although you know we haven't used it for everything or else it would be a bit weird. And what I'm going to do is use one of the purple, the amethyst that I've got already for the frame. Can you see? I think so. They're quite dark, and then I'll use the pink we've got already for the sellotape and the drawing pins, and then I'm going to get a different pink and a different purple to do the actual pictures. And hopefully it'll work. We'll see. Now I realise there are leaves and things, but if you want to do your leaves and trees and things green, you can. Lady Jane is going to use this for all the pins. Oh, I missed a bit of the notice board just there. Yeah, all the pins and the sellotape. So back to our Lady Jane. Sellotape things onto a pin board. So different shades of pink and purple. Let's have a look. Are we going to go light or dark? I think we'll go purple haze, which is light, and a light pink. What's that? I've used that one already. I'm trying to use one we haven't used though. Let's use fairy floss if I can find it. No, I use pig's ear because that's what I found. I'm going to go for purple first. This is purple haze. And what I'm going to do is try and do every item with the two colours on. So the purple haze for this picture is going to be in the background. It's quite easy when it's a pattern. It's when we've got trees and sky, it's going to be a bit difficult. We'll find a way. But as I say, if you don't want to do it like this, you can do your trees and sky and grass in a normal way. I just thought it would be a lot easier and a little bit different to just stick with a couple of colours like that. So this one I'm going to do the sky in a light purple and the grass in a darker purple. I need to sharpen this to do these little details. Right, there we go. Oh, it takes a bit of concentration, that one. This one just here. This one's going to have the background done in the purple. Trying to make it as even as I can in the meaning as many purple backgrounds as pink. I haven't got many pink ones here. This one's going to be alternate squares. It's like a little checkerboard. That one I'm going to do that one in purple, really light. And then this one's going to have, yep, purple leaves and dots. Oh, the rings are hurting my hand. And a purple background for this one. Keeping it quite light. Fiddly. Do the best I can. And some purple background for this one. Oh, and this one. Can you see all of this one? No. There we go. Not that you need to see how to colour a triangle, but it might be more entertaining if you can see me. There we go. And then our pink. So as I said, pig's ear. I may need to sharpen it actually. Okay, let's start our pieces. It'll be a light background. Trees. And this outside, going to make it a bit darker. Then these I'm not going to do so dark. And by doing that, it could look like you've got more than one shade of the pink and purple when you haven't. It's really lazy. I'm going to do these a bit darker because this background I'm going to do quite light. Unfortunately, my shade of pink looks quite similar to the one I picked for the tape, but it's okay. This background. I'm going to go right over the top of the purple, wobbling the whole table. Now this makes this part of the page so much quicker. I find it quite daunting when there is so much to do. And so many colours to pick. Okay, we've only got a little bit left, which is rather exciting. Hearts in a jar. Now I'd normally do them pink, but we're going to do them red with the ladybug because we've got all this pink and purple behind. But I'm not going to do them too dark. I'm going to try and keep it fairly light. It's quite difficult because this is a really intense colour. Do the best that I can. There we go. And then we'll grab our cobblestone for the jar. I have to make it see-through. I mean, technically, if it's see-through, you'd see the board through it, but I'm going to pretend that we didn't notice that. And I'm going to put a blue lid on it. Blue moon. I want to keep singing the song, Blue Moon. I'd better not. Get copyright striked. Okay, the two boxes. Now, we've done a lot of the other boxes that we had like this, we did in pink and purple, but I think it's going to be a bit too much. So I'm sort of wondering about a blue. Yeah, or whether to just go for a brown. I think I might go for the mushroom actually. I'm going to use that colour. I don't know why, I just fancy it. It's a sort of pinkish brownish colour and I think it would just work. Because then it sort of almost fits with our pink colour scheme, but it is significantly different. I'm just going to darken it up a bit to the colour of our board, notice board. Now be a bit darker under the lid. There'd be some shadow there and under there. Now our surround, remember how we did it before, cobblestone. Can try and do it in the same way. So dark layer on the corner and then fade, and same here, so we've got a sort of lighter bit so it looks a bit silvery. And then we need a bit for the paper. I'm going to use the saddle. Just do it really lightly. There we go. Now I think I'm done. I'm going to come out and have a look and see whether I have remembered to include everything. It's bound to have forgotten something because I know what I'm like. Oh, come out a bit of a long way. Let's have a quick look. I'm just scanning my eyes around all of the little details. I think we're done. The only thing you might want to do is some white pen details. I'm not going to because I don't think I've coloured a lot of it intensely enough for the pen to show up. So I'm not going to do that. But there we go. There is our very detailed room, wall, whatever it is, shelves, all finished. So thank you very much for watching. I'm hoping you have a really super day and happy colouring.